Alright, everyone. Normally, your restreamer wouldn't be coming on. I will be your restreamer this evening. This is Toad. I just want to warn you, the next game has a lot of photo sensitivity issues, so if flashing screens bother you at all, this is your warning. A lot of it's going to happen in this game. So, be careful.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Magic of Scheherazade. As you can see, this is a 1989 Culture Brain game for the NES. We've been seeing a lot of this kind of stuff recently. It's you know, a nice little genre mashup, whereas the Guardian Legend is like Zelda and vertical scrolling shooter. This is like Zelda and Dragon Warrior. Although we are going to be trying to avoid many of those encounters. Quick little bit of introduction. My name is synthpopisback, or synthpop. I have with me Aaron2U2, the current world record holder for this game.
Hello, it's Aaron.
As you can see, we've got a little bit of a class system. We will see a little bit of every single class in the game. You do have to change classes at some point, but we're going to start with the Magician. We're going to go through chapter by chapter, world by world, and defeat demons to rescue princesses and a king, and defeat the evil wizard Sabaron. And there's some timey-wimey goodness, and some fun and some RNG stuff, so... yeah, see how it goes. Anyway, this is the Magic of Scheherazade in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, good luck, Synth.
Thank you very much. It is wibbly wobbly and timey-wimey.
So we start the game going through a time door, which you'll see happen quite a bit throughout the game. It's one of the main mechanics of the game. Almost every world. No, every world we do go through a time door, correct?
Not World 2.
We're supposed to in World 2.
You're supposed to in World 2, but we do skip the game. Or we do skip that chapter, mostly. We're going to try and keep up the reminders for the photosensitivity warning, but we might miss a couple, so just be on a general lookout. They happen a lot, and when they happen, they come like a storm. So, anyway, in order to avoid the first couple of random encounters that you can get into, we need to delay taking damage if we can until a certain point, when the RNG values will have rolled over to the appropriate point. It's coming up in a couple of screens. There's a lot of manipulation that can be done to get through some of these chapters without encounters. You can't always do it. I wanted an enemy to spawn there, but we can get it there. I think that should still be okay. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, it should still be fine. I like to call that the Bee of Destiny if it shows up.
Yeah, I did not get the Bee of Destiny.
Nope.
It's a bummer. So, like I said, there's a lot of other manipulation that you can do. Timer, or those values start and stop as you take damage or kill enemies. So kind of like in Zelda 1 where you do enemy counters to try and figure out like what items are going to drop and stuff, you can do that here. But anyway, we're going to go straight to this time door right here, and we're going to cast the spell, which will reveal the opening, enter, and we'll see Coronia and the time door. She says, let's go 50 years back into the past, find Farouk, who's one of the companions that you can recruit throughout the game. You need most of them, But like I said earlier, we're going to skip a bunch of the Chapter 2 stuff, and that includes 2 of the 3 companions that you can get in Chapter 2.
Yeah, for the most part, we don't miss them. They're not very useful.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're good people, but I do like Gun Mecha. Anyway, we need to take a rest into a town up here. You get, along with your class, when you level up and stuff, you get new spells and things like that. We also get upgrades to our weapons, the rod and the sword. And we do the first one here by taking the Monocom course. This course will tell us about the great magic of this chapter, which is not really relevant anymore because new developments in this game in the last couple of years involve getting rid of the need for an eclipse where you would be able to cast that great magic. It refills your items and clears your debt and fills your money all the way up, and you would normally have used it in Chapter 4 right before the boss of Chapter 4, but we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, if there was anything close to a difficulty setting for this game, having the Monocom spell would be it, because it makes the game tremendously easier.
It is essentially easy mode, yeah. That's right. And I miss it very much. I love that spell. It's great. Incidentally, you know, people do like randomizers. This game does have a randomizer. It's kind of in the early stages of development, but there are seeds, and we have done races of them. And Monocom makes a reappearance in that for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of more than one race where somebody who has won hasn't cast that spell, so it's pretty much vital there.
Yeah, for sure. So there's the first encounter, and we escaped it. The manip for this chapter can get you all the way through the chapter without an encounter, I believe. And we need to get to level 3 in this. It is a very fun rando. So part of this route also includes going into shop up here. This is the town where we're going to pick up Farouk. That old man sitting right there was the best NPC in a video game. We're going to borrow 500 rupees here at the shop by borrowing 50 and 150. And 150.
Sorry, and 150 more. It normally locks you at 400, but discovered you could kind of skip around that. If you are under 400, you can ask for any amount, and it'll give it to you. So,
yep.
Thank you, game, for that.
Yep, that's right. We're also going to buy some items here. We need 3 breads. This is for marathon safety. We're going to buy... I normally buy 2 and 5 of those, but it's 3 and 6 breads and mushrooms, and those are HP refill and MP refill items. And then we're going to come in here and pick up Farouk. And then we'll be done with the past here.
The refills happen automatically when you hit 0. It's kind of similar to like a fairy in Legend of Zelda, except for there's no animation, it just happens automatically.
Right. And mushrooms, it's actually, you have to go below 0 current MP for it to use it, which is very useful in certain parts. Certain fights would be a little bit different. Routing would be a little bit different if that minor detail were changed. But anyway, we're walking back to the time door. Now that we have Farouk, we can find out the location of the next, or of the dungeon of this chapter. Also the next companion that we need. So we see Coronia again, we go back through the time door. She's the time spirit, she's awesome.
Yeah, it's she's a very important character. You see her a lot.
Yep.
Her name occasionally. It's good to know what her name is.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
That's right. And we're gonna ignore this town. Bye, Pop and all. What we really needed Farouk for is coming up here. There's a little gauntlet of encounter screens that we have to run through a little bit. But that's okay.
Yes, there's unfortunately virtually no benefit to these fights for a speedrun. They don't even really give you much experience or gold.
No. Later ones, I think, give you a fair amount of gold, maybe, but... Anyway, what we needed Farouk for was to give us an item that would allow us to jump into this water without drowning. And we can do a little swim over here. Swim. It's really hard sometimes to not get hit by the enemies that spawn, so I like having screens where they don't spawn. You can turn around and kill those guys behind you, and sometimes that'll put you in the right position. And we also need to stop into this town. The town is called Horn, and you're about to see why I said that old man is the best NPC ever. This is the same town where we got Farouk, but this is in the future, after it's been inundated. And you see that old man is still sitting there. If you talk to him in the past, what he tells you is that he will never leave, no matter what. And you find out he's right. Even if everybody is turned into a mermaid, good old Beckel is sitting there hanging out. And then we go talk to Kibaboo, which is whatever the crap that is. She asks us if we've ever tried to pick up a girl in a hamburger shop, because Kibaboo only likes gentlemen. You say no, and she joins you. If you say yes, she kind of kicks you out, and you have to come back in and talk to her again.
Yeah, she gives me the impression of Jamie Farr's face, but with wings.
Yeah, a little bit. I think she's supposed to maybe be like a Valkyrie or something, but... Anyway, here's the first dungeon. It's the Aqua Palace. We're gonna fight Gilga. We need to get up to 80 experience, and these guys only drop 2 each, so we might have to do a little bit of a grind at the end of this chapter. That's okay.
Yeah, one constant thing about the palaces and stuff is that those demons are they're ever present. Almost every screen, you'll see 4 of them appear, so experience comes fairly quickly.
Yep. Eventually, I think you do get upgraded to the little dragon guys, and the dragon guys give you even more XP, but it's usually, again, 4 or 5 at a time. Yeah, and there's a nice safe spot right before the boss where we can level that back up. Or where we can grind that up if we need to. There's a little bit of a jump there. I have missed that jump. It's stupid. You do have to walk a little bit past where you think you might be able to. There are other slightly perilous jumps in this that I just will not do.
And not marathon safe jumps.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so we get this horn. We can throw the horn at those statues, and sometimes it'll let you through. Then we grind out the rest of the time on these guys. We get a little bit of money.
Yes.
Picked up a money bag.
Bags.
Picked up a money bag. That's 20 rupees. We need a lot. You need a lot of money. And I know we borrowed 500. When I said it clears your debt and fills up your money, like that 1,000 rupees and the extra 500 from the loan mean a lot, because you need a lot.
Here comes the flashing, by the way.
Oh yeah, flashing warning. No, I did that badly. Should be okay. So this is Gilga's first phase. We have to kill all these eyes. It takes 2 casts of the spell for each eye, or 2 hits with the rod, if we can pull that off. And hopefully we'll get that guy, and then... yeah, okay, still got it. Hit it with the rod. Okay, and then here's the second phase, and we just walk up and down, kind of avoid these shots until we hit that thing in the center 10 times, and then it goes away. Come over here. There's a spot where you can stand where that right one's targeting gets glitched out like that, and you can just kind of sit there. Usually you like for that spell to get cast as I'm walking over to the other eye, but that's okay. And we're actually going to get out of here with 2 breads. Saw we ate one at one point earlier. And there we go.
Yep, and Gilga is down.
Gilga's down. Chapter 1's down. We automatically get leveled up to level 5. So we have to go through all of the level up text that normally happens. Which means no matter what, every run that we do of this game gets, that 4 to 5 seconds per level baked into it. You get about a minute. Anyway, so we find out Sabaron. He's got our sweetheart, the Princess Scheherazade, captive. And we have to go on to a new world. We got Kibaboo and Farouk and Koronia with us on the carpet. World 2. World 2's level limit is 10. We're going to get to level 7. We're going to walk to the right here of this town and go do a grind on some enemies that give a lot of experience. Oh yeah, we definitely have to get Sabaron and stop him from completing his evil desire. That's right. It's one of the best lines of exposition in any video game. Unfortunately, I mean, the music in this game is great. Unfortunately, one of my very favorite songs in the game is not something that we're going to run into. It's the casino theme. You occasionally hear it in a rando because you accidentally walk into the casino, but you don't really want it in the speedrun. Anyway, so we're going to fight a couple screens worth of these guys. They're worth 10 experience each. We need to kill 5 more of them. We want to be at 760-ish experience. We need to kill these 2. You got to walk on the sand for them to appear. And we didn't get a money bag drop, which I feel like we should have. But yeah, actually I want to take damage on that guy right there, I think, to maybe do a little bit of manip if that's not too late, because there's a little bit of variety in how we can go through this. Other people, I think Aaron and the number 2 runner, our Barbaloop, both stop there at 740. But this is what you would actually be doing all of Chapter 2 for, right here, is getting a companion that can lead you through this desert, much like the Lost Woods, but if you know the way through, you arrive here. So, what would be, I don't know, what is this in the 100% run, like a 17-minute chapter?
Yeah, it's along those lines, and I think we end up taking a death warp and a game over abuse, and it's all sorts of high-end tech that we don't even see because we don't need to do it.
Yeah. We're going to pick up 50 free rupees here, because like I said, money is very important. We need a lot of it. Especially for marathon safety, we're going to spend a lot of money.
But the bare minimum in the next chapter, you need 340 coins. So he's almost there. He won't have a problem getting to that, but you need money in chapter 4 too. So
yeah, but we'll be fine. We're going to cast a spell called Deafening, which will have the damage that we take while we walk through here. I've got bread in there too. But we've got the MP to spare, although MP is kind of tight in chapters 1 and 2. But anyway, this is just walking to the next companion and then walking to the boss. Next companion is a little guy named Eppin, who's kept captive in here.
Yeah, and just kind of, again, these little demon guys are everywhere. And in this chapter in particular, this palace, they're extremely hard to avoid because they seem to be more in the way than they were in the first chapter, and there's just so many screens of them. So mitigating damage that you take through this is really important.
Yeah. Actually, the reason that I decided to go to 760 experience is somewhat mitigated by the fact that I bought an extra Mashroob in Chapter 1. Oh, I missed that money bag. That's not good. But the idea was to hit level 7, which we need to hit because there's a spell that we need to hit the next boss before getting the next MP drink drop. Enemies can randomly drop an item that restores 20 MP. We need 20 MP to cast the spell that we need for the next boss, so that effectively gives us an extra cast of it, which can be used to finish it off quickly. We'll still be fine. We'll be able to kill her. The old Curly. In these random encounters, you get 3 attempts to escape before you actually get locked into the fight, so if you get stuck in a battle, it's pretty bad. But if you run into the encounters, it costs you a couple seconds, but it's not that big of a deal. And we're already at the level that we need. We needed Flannel 1, so photosensitivity warning. We're going to cast this spell 8 times on this first form.
And this is why we have to be level 7 to fight this fight, because you get the spell at level 7. If you don't, then you just stand here staring at her and she blasts you into oblivion with spells that you won't see her cast because we're hitting her first.
Yep. It is probably supposed to be Kali. That's correct. Anyway, here's the next form of her. We're going to cast it 5 more times on this form, and then we're going to use the rod to finish off the arms. And then if we have an extra cast of it, we use it again to destroy the last arm, so that we don't have to worry about missing it when it's low on MP, or HP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sometimes these encounter screens like eat your inputs too. That's not good. Every time we cast this spell, she's countering. Oh, whoa, that's a good break. Okay. Well, let's not miss. Sorry.
Now, there is a weird mechanic in this fight specifically, which Barblute has figured out, where it only does half of the frames that it catches over normal screens. So, like he said, it does have a tendency that when you hit the buttons, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And it's actually made worse if you spam the buttons, I found. So, it's more about finding the rhythm that actually fits right.
Alright, so that enemy gets down to basically the magic pixel, whatever. I had an extra cast in there, that's fine. And then we cast the spell again and it kills that arm. Curly down, not an extremely good time, but it's okay. It's a good break, could have been better break, but it's okay. The big barrier in this game, and the thing that I have like backup for, is the Chapter 4 boss. So one of the things about this game is you can go through 45 minutes of it, and then you hit the big RNG wall.
That's true. It's basically impossible to be close to the leaderboard right now at the top unless you have a good fight against that boss. And
yeah,
it's unfortunate, and we've tried to play around and see if there's some sort of way to break it open. We haven't found it yet.
Yeah. We did find some stuff very recently. There are 2 tasks. I did want to talk about those tasks. Our Barbalute, the former world record holder for this game, completed a task because the old one was slower than the old human record. So he wanted to create a task that was, use the new tech that we all knew about and the strategy that we have, or the route that we all had, and improve on them. And we found some things like one cycling the final boss, the quick kill on the final boss, and the ability to actually avoid getting the eclipse in a human run because of that task. And then he wanted to update it because he learned some things in the middle of making it. Anyway, the long story short is, right after, or right at the end of completing the last task, which was about a month ago, he discovered a very nice several minute time save skip sequence break in Chapter 5. And so the old the new task is already obsolete, and the new world record is again Aaron 2U2, and it is 58 minutes and 22 seconds. Is that right, Aaron?
I don't actually remember. But
you don't actually remember?
No. That run came, I think, 6 hours after seeing Barbalute do the new skip, and I just happened to get the best run ever that I've had mixed in with that.
It was already, it would have already been world record pace on the old strats, even without that, right?
Yeah, but I'm just keeping the seat warm, I think.
We'll see. It's a good run. Anyway, so we come into this town, Casimir. We're going to be here a couple different times in different times, but this is another university. One of the reasons that we need so much money is because this costs so much money. We're going to take the Sprycom course. Always take the Com course if you're going to take a course, because that will get you the upgrade that you need. But we get the R armor here. This is basically a permanent Deafeny, and it actually makes Deafeny not worth anything. I don't know that it was very popular. I didn't know about it until, 15 years ago, or almost 20 years ago. But we go into the mosque here, and this is our first class change. We're going to change to the Saint, because we need to be a saint in order for an NPC later to give us what we need.
So there is one very useful thing about being a saint, and that is that it allows you to walk over damage tiles without taking damage.
That's true. That's true. If you have the item that you get in Chapter 2.
Yes, which we skipped because we skipped the character who gives it to you. So
yeah,
there is no advantage to this class at all. It's
pure downgrade, pure nerf. So each of the classes, like they don't progress in level any differently or anything like that. They basically just interact with items and like your rod and sword equipment differently. So the magician gets access to like the upgraded versions of the rod, and the fighter gets access to the upgraded versions of the sword, and the saint gets neither. And since we also don't get access to we don't get the items that the saint gets special abilities from, we don't get those either. So basically the saint sucks. We want to beat it as little as possible. So we're gonna just book it right over to the time door once again. Because the NPC that we need to talk to as a saint is in the past. We're also going to get an HP refill from that person. But here's Coronia again at the time door. She says, let's go back 30 years, or 30 years into the future, actually, to go talk to... go find a companion. I don't remember what she says exactly. Anyway, we go up here.
The nice snow mechanics, which are basically the same as the desert mechanics in Chapter 2, in that it does some damage over time, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's like every 15 seconds maybe you take damage. This guy asks us, oh, I promised to give you 3,000 rupees, and you say no. He's the one that you have to be a saint to talk to, and he would tell you a password if you had talked to him, but we don't talk to him because we know the password. It is Choco La'a. It gives us the Cimarron Rod and the ability to talk to another NPC, which gives us the companion that we need. Then we're going to walk to this time period's version of that town again and immediately change back to Magician. I am by no means a saint, sir. I am the worst avatar that has ever been.
Yeah, just kind of coincidentally, both Synth and I are big fans of the Ultima series. So.
Oh, also that, yeah. Although I have bad opinions about them. Anyways, we're back into the mosque. Oh, want to change the class. I want to make sure that I don't miss menu on any of this stuff, so I might be pausing at some of these menus just to make sure when we do shops and that kind of stuff. Money is so tight that I don't want to waste any of it. And if I had changed to a fighter there by accident, would have cost me 60 rupees plus the 100 that I needed to change back into a magician anyway. We also need we need 100 of these rupees to get the last companion for this chapter. All of the rest of it is going to just go into seeding our grind in chapter 4. The other route actually had 3 major grinds in it. This one only has 1. It's kind of a doozy, but it's pretty reliable. Money can be a little bit tight in it again, but you know, it's pretty good. It's very simple. You don't want to let those IBAT things stay on the screen too long, because if you do, they will spawn a Grim Reaper enemy. If Sathresh could possibly demonstrate in chat, that would chase me around until it either killed me or I killed it, and it's just a big pain. Or I finished a chapter? Is that right? I'm actually gonna just take the time to kill those guys.
Right. It seems like a time loss, but it actually, if you can manage to get a level before you get into the palace at the end of this chapter, it'll save a bit of time there.
Yeah, that's true. But, and also it just possibly saves me time where I would be casting the healing spell where... Yeah, it costs a lot of mana, which actually at this point I don't care about mana, but it also costs a minute, or a second and a half every time you cast it. It only heals you for 10. So if I needed to cast it, it would take up a lot of time.
Yeah, it's kind of a troll spell. that it's like heal, and it shows this animation, and then you go up 10 hit points,
10 hit
and a whole lot
points,
of enemies hit you by more than that.
Yeah. Anyway, so we come in here, we give the Cimarron's fruit to that old man, and I believe his name's Geppetto, and he gives us this pumpkin-headed guy named Pinocchio. And we take the carpet back to Casimir, so that we can go back to the time door.
Pukin is nightmare fuel, as far as I'm concerned.
He's extremely ugly, and his eyes are transparent, which is extremely unsettling.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw there, it's on the carpet, when you use the carpet, it's just you and Coronia, so that's nice. In between chapters, you get all the extra characters, but when it's just them, it's kind of nice. You know nothing of the crunch. Alright, so, yeah, we're just making our way back. There's a lot of walking around, a little bit of backtracking and stuff. This game, you know, I would have said before that this game was pretty optimized. When that first task was completed, we thought that there was like up to 4 seconds to save in it, and then the second task saved another, what, 3 minutes or 4 minutes on it? New task is 50 minutes or something crazy. Now there's even more to save possible in a 3rd revision of it. But now we're back in the present. We're gonna go over here to a little maze, which leads to the next town, where we'll pick up another companion, and then we can go on to the final dungeon of this chapter. Move into the dreaded Chapter 4.
In case anyone is curious, the walking that we do in Chapter 10, or Chapter 10,
Chapter 10, oh god.
Yeah, this is the longest.
No 2-loop, please.
This is as long as it gets. Chapter 4 can be, but we pretty much cheat as much as we can out of having to wander around. Unfortunately, you can't in this one. Yeah. So, yeah.
That little section where I was walking up, there are like holes in the ground, but if you just stay kind of on the left side of the screen, you just, you know, walk straight up, you're fine. And then you walk about halfway up the screen to get over here, into this little area, and down the stairs. Here we go. Let's go. The run's going okay. I still got 2 breads even. This is crazy. I'm usually like, I've already died by this point, and blah. Like, I have not been having good luck with encounters.
Yeah, don't jinx it. Just go with it. Forget about the good luck.
We're just gonna move on. So one of the other things that we would need money for, and I actually do have enough for it right now, but I'm glad that I don't have to spend it, because I need it for next chapter, it would have been buying a key here. You need 2 keys in the old route. You get one for just being at level 5 at the end of chapter 1, when you get the level ups. With no keys in your inventory, it just gives you one. We would normally be buying one, but we don't need the second anymore. Or actually, we don't need the first anymore. It is an excellent game. Thank you very much. And I hope you're enjoying listening to me blather on about it. Here's the palace. Oh man.
So there are a couple of things coming up here.
Photosensitivity warning, for one.
Yes,
Sorry.
I probably should have said that faster. These little magician fights that you have to do, they come up in all of the palaces from now on. Yep. And the enemies basically just have instant kills on you, so...
Yeah, if they're like projectiles hit you twice, you get transformed, and then if the little helpers hit you, then you get turned in, or you get killed. Like they turn you into a hamburger and then they eat you or something. Turn you into a little baby and stomp on you.
Yeah, it's all very humorous until you die.
Yeah. It's not great. But instead we can use that spell Karaba to turn them into a baby and then stomp on them. Abcabra, you can see him. One of the things that Eppin does is reveal masked regiment enemies to you, so that you can see them. As if you couldn't tell from their outline and movement pattern that they were bandits. And kill this dragon and get this level up. This is the only level we need. Old routes used to go to level 14 in this chapter. Another photosensitivity warning. I'm so sorry. I keep missing these things. I always forget about the wizard fights until they happen, and also the fact that Korbach doesn't work on him. So we actually have to fight this guy. He's a little different.
No, these are the easier ones, though. There's a couple of harder ones coming up later that might have to grit our teeth a bit through, but...
Yeah, that's right. So we're level 11. Oh, jeez.
Time to take a bath? Yep.
Oh, God. So there are slippery ice physics right there, and good news is that that's an intentional death. We need to be over 110 HP. You can do this at 111. Also, obviously, photosensitivity warning, sorry. It's up there. It should be text. Anyway, so this is Troll's first form. We just have to hit him 12 times with the rod. He just teleports around. He counters with the spell Thunder that does 10 damage. He counters the first 11 hits that you do. So you need 110 HP to survive it, and then his second form won't do damage to you. So you just stand here, and you hope he doesn't teleport to those other sides. It can be anywhere, anywhere that you want to stand. Doesn't really matter, as long as you're between two of these forms, so that you maximize the chances of you hitting him. That's it.
And Troll, of all the bosses, is the easiest, but he's also annoying just in the fact that you have virtually no control over this segment.
Yeah.
That he can just hide in a corner and you'll be tempted to go after him. The second you do, he pops on the other side, so...
Yeah, I would still take every single boss fight being like Troll, though, than what we do get. Anyway, so 130, that's the last one. He always appears again in his second form right in front of where you killed him. So you just walk as far as you can away from him and hope that he doesn't walk onto you, because if he does, he gets to the point where you're inside his hitbox and you can't kill him. Then we just hit him a bunch of times, 12 more times, and he's down. And we level up to 15, so this is the longest level up sequence that you get.
There is one scary thing that can happen in Troll, and that's if he runs on top of you or you fail to hit him a bunch. He will, because if he runs on top of you, he does 0 damage.
Right.
He doesn't even hit you there, but he will shrink you after a while, and then he'll instantly kill you.
That's right, yeah. He doesn't actually deal damage, that's why you can do it at 111 HP. Because no matter what, it's his attack will kill you if it hits you. We got through it just fine, though. It's okay.
So far we've rescued 3 of the princesses, but not the one we actually want.
Yep, that's right. Maybe she can talk Sabaron to death. That's my very favorite line in the whole game.
Oh. And note that the characters we didn't recruit were still on the carpet. So
yeah,
I think that we'll ever skip them.
That's right. My favorite favorite line in the game is delivered by a character that's not actually in the game, or not actually in the speedrun. So the beginning of this chapter is the grind. We're going to walk to a specific spot where we get a high percentage chance of a certain enemy called an Ifrit appearing. They have a pretty good, we don't know exactly, but we think it's around 50% maybe chance of dropping a money bag. I'm going to get as much money as I can. I probably need about 340 or so. I don't know. Need a lot. Which means we might go over with a little bit of extra grinding there if I feel like we need to. I should probably do a little bit of calculating to see what I need.
And to just kind of put that in perspective, what we're looking at is both experience and coins. We need enough coins to buy what we need, but we also need experience so that we can get to level 17 before the boss, or else the boss is twice as hard and he's already hard enough.
There's an incidental Ifrit right there. Killed him, he dropped his money bag, but we're going to actually go to a different one. I'm going to cast this spell, Ramapas, which will prevent, in broad terms, it will prevent me from getting into random encounters or having generally most enemies appear on screen until I get where I need to go. It's more complicated than that. I don't know if we want to go into it here. It's been documented very well by R. Barbalut, the way that the encounters and stuff work.
Yeah, just safe to say you cast that spell anytime there could be one that appears, it eliminates 87.5% of them.
Yeah. Oh. And then they come pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, every 8 encounter screens that you cross over.
Right, and here's where we're going to see the grind, where we're just going to fight this guy over and over.
Over and over again.
Yeah. So if you don't want to watch this specific part, you can do something, go to the bathroom, back 2 minutes, and we'll probably just be wrapping it up.
Yeah, this would be a good time to read donations if this were a donation marathon. An excellent time. It would be, because you're going to get like 2.5 minutes to go through this. This is level 16. We want to be 17. Old routing would have had us do a different grind in this chapter for also money and like money to actually get a different weapon. It's better than the one that we use, but also to get to level 19. So every level has a certain, like, it either increases the strength of the rod or increases the strength of the sword, or the damage output of each of them. And, you know, that's set, right? So we get to 17, or we get to 11 in the previous chapter just to get a rod damage output upgrade. Same thing with chapter 5, the final boss, we get to level 21. For the same reason, not because we need a spell, like we did in chapter 2. So level 7 comes at 6,000 experience. We get 50 from each of these guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of healing. There's a little bit of...
if you were gonna heal or if you were just gonna eat the breads, but considering the money hasn't been too good.
Yeah, I was just busy talking. I wasn't paying attention.
That's fine. I can talk if you need me to. I can go into the minute details of the encounter manipulations.
Oh, please, have at it.
No, I'm joking. I don't think.
We'll have at whatever you want to talk about. Pass it off to you for a bit.
But yeah, what we're looking for the rest of the game, basically, is we have to first get enough breads to beat the, which I imagine Synth is going to want to basically max out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we need to buy a few more carpets to teleport around, save some time. And we also have to spend 160 coins on class changes. So that's more or less what we need. We will get one of the class changes done before we do the shopping, so all the shopping will be discounted, which will be nice. But that is about the extent of it.
I'm gonna go with this. It's 190 for class changes, carpets. So that leaves us with what, 140, and that's so 90 for items because I get the R seed. So,
Right.
So I'll be able to get a mashroob and 8 breads. That's fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. So.
I screwed up. I should have cast Ramapos before entering this place, so we get into this encounter instead. Unfortunately, it actually doesn't work right on the screen where you cast it, so you have to cast it early, have it up. It actually runs for 30 seconds starting when you leave the screen on which you cast it, which I think is why it doesn't work on the screen where you cast it.
Right.
But anyway, so we get Goobibi. That's another companion that we need. I hate that guy. It's a good despawn, though.
They just like to appear at the worst possible times. Although I think if you cast Ramapos in the right screen, you can avoid all of them. I've tested that a little bit. But
No, I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's true.
So we do have to, at this point, you don't have to fight anybody else till the boss, except we do have a few fights you have to fight. So unfortunately, you can't just skip everything, but...
Yeah.
And now 3,000 years into the past. It's the furthest we travel through time.
Yeah, there should be a photosensitivity warning up. I wanted to make sure that is true.
Oh yeah, it's on there. It's
to make sure that people are aware of it. I am trying to get it, but there are just like 100 different warnings that I would have to give, and I don't have them all mapped out and stuff. And yeah.
And I seem to think that this game is actually a remake of a Japanese game, Arabian Dream Scheherazade. At least that's the name I've read from it.
Yeah.
And that game doesn't have as much flashing, so...
Yeah.
Brought it over to America, they decided, hey, let's
add in a bunch of flashing. One of the things in the rando actually adds some flashing that I think we're working on maybe taking out. But anyway, here we go. I've got a little bit of serious time while I do the shopping, please.
Right.
I'm just gonna shut up for a second.
Yeah, he can shut up for a second, because you don't want to make any mistakes doing the money, or else you have to fight some more enemies and waste more time. It is technically a remake. The game, if I've only found it on YouTube. I mean, I've actually played it, but it's in Japanese, and I haven't quite learned Japanese yet, so there was some struggle there. But the game itself is fairly similar. They changed some stuff. This version is slower in some good ways, but also in some bad ways, which I will tell you about after we fight this boss.
Okay.
There we go.
I think I got out of that right.
Looks good to me.
I want to make sure that I don't get confused with old strats and stuff. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm hoping that we can work out how to do, is to remove the flashing from the randomizer, or just give you an option to turn on removing the flashing. I'm very, very hopeful that we can find that. I would love to find that. And I want to make it happen, but we'll just have to see if we can do it. I don't know. That was probably a late Ramapaz cast, but anyway. We need to go up to here. We're not going to be doing the jump. There is a way to jump over that thing later when we need to get over to that side of the river, but I don't do it. It's definitely not worth it for me.
It's not marathon safe. Would probably be the way. Be ashamed to lose your entire run to that jump.
Yeah, it would be bad.
But it's a pretty good time save, so I will continue to encourage Synth to do it at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually I'll get it. But so we jump into the lava here. We needed Goo BB to be able to jump into the lava. That's why we had to get him.
In case you didn't notice, Goo BB is a jar.
Yeah, he is a jar with arms. Here we go. So we needed Goo BB to get into this town so that we could get Rainy, who gives us access to fighting Salamander. We kind of glossed over this, but I had to come back in time 3,000 years, right? And so we get this guy Rainy by saying no to both of his questions, and if you say yes to either of his questions, it's a game over. Hey, Astronomate, thank you very much for the good luck, and thank you everybody else for the good luck. I'm sorry, I haven't really been, I'm supposed to do a different thing. I'm supposed to carpet.
Yes.
Back to the first town. Sorry.
Yes.
Go to this town, get Rainy, carpet to here, change class back, carpet back, and then walk to the town, or walk to the palace.
Yeah, the Japanese version is worse flashing, Vesper. Maybe I just don't.
I would put up for the extra flashing if that meant that Salamander operated like he does in the Japanese version of this game.
Right.
Thank you very much. Let's see. Magician. Donation of 100 rupees. We leave. Carpet back to lava. We have to enter the town of lava again to get to the stairs so that we can get back out to get to the palace, but it's still faster to carpet there by a lot. Come on, Sally, be a pally. We're almost to the boss of this chapter. Not looking forward to it. Salamander, I mean, Salamander can be, what, 2.5 minutes, or Salamander can be impossible. At this bread count, we shouldn't be in the impossible range. So I don't want to lose that bread if I can avoid it. I don't think we avoided it. Did we avoid it? We did.
He's probably hitting you. Every time you cast heal, it like refreshes his ability to hit you, so...
Yeah, I think I got enough in.
Yeah, if he's hitting those flames right on top of you while you're casting a spell, it usually just cancels it right out. It's kind of annoying.
I mean, it's okay. If we get low, like super low, I'm actually probably going to take the death. I don't know, should I take the death?
I just save it.
I have a safer strat for the big skip. so I don't need the life or anything like that. And I have the R seed anyway, so... Anyway, there's, here's the Chapter 4 Palace. We had to go back 3,000 years in the past. I keep skipping over this, but here's another sensitivity warning. And that was too early. Here's another one. We go 3,000 years in the past so that we can kill Salamander when it's a baby, because otherwise it's far too powerful for us to actually kill. Just kind of yikes. And normally we wouldn't actually be level 17 at this point. You actually leave those grinds a little bit early, intending to get extra experience on the way to the boss of each chapter. You jump over there. I could take a death there and refill HP, but I think we're just gonna go.
He's going for it.
It is too much flashing.
Too much flashing.
Yeah. Extreme flashing imminent. That's true.
And we should just put that warning up now. It's going to keep happening. There are 2 screens before the boss and the boss itself where there is a considerable amount of flashing.
Yes,
so.
This next screen is one of them.
This is my least favorite magician fight. I think Synth has expressed that he doesn't mind it so much, but I do absolutely terrible at the Barzel fights, and I've lost way too many runs to them. So.
In general, I don't mind it too much.
Taking off the beeping noise.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a full heal.
Okay.
Actually, I did want to save that death in case of Barzil.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking too, but I didn't want to...
Okay, so here's another Barzil.
Yeah, somehow he just went down the screen before and now he's here. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
He gets around, I guess.
He transformed, but there was nothing to kill us.
If one of the fires had hit him, he would have exploded.
Yep. Yeah, it would have set me off and sent me launching. But another photosensitivity warning. Let's go. Salamander. Sally be a pally. Alright, this boss has 255 HP. We're dealing 16 damage per hit. And it regains 50 HP every cycle. Hoping for as few cycles as possible. 1, 2... that's the first half of the first cycle. 3... 4, 5, 6. 6 is good. His hitbox is tiny. It's in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah, we're both a little excited right now because this is where all of the nerves come right to a head. This fight, you just hope that he cooperates.
Yep.
Hope he's our pal.
Hope he's our pal. He just moves randomly. There's nothing you can do about it. You just want to get at least 4 hits every cycle. And there's 5 again. 6 again. 6 again is good.
I think I timed this before that each total cycle takes about 40 seconds. Of the 40 seconds, you get 4.5 seconds from when he first appears until he summons the fire circle. And then you have 3.5 seconds after that before he disappears into the fire field.
For a total of 8 seconds in which you can hit him.
Out of 40.
Out of 40. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is a very solid salamander fight.
So far. Haven't even eaten a bread yet. All that bread that we bought is 100% just for fighting salamander. Ideally, we would only be buying like 6 or 7, just to save time and money. But for marathon safety, I bought them all. We won't need them in Chapter 5, however many are left after we kill salamander. There's a bad cycle. It's 1 in the first half. 2... so he's going to actually regain some HP.
So he gained 2 hit points back, which doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not, but I think if he
No,
does
he-
that like 3 times, then you actually lose a full hit on him.
I
Something
thought he
like that.
gained 16 back or 18 back.
No, if you hit him 3 times, I thought you said it was 3.
Oh, no, I thought it was 2.
Oh, well then,
2 before. 3, 4. 4 is definitely making progress, so that's good. And it's just, yeah, just wait here until you can kill this thing, pretty much. There's not much else we can do about it.
and this is the fight we actually need the armor for. If not for this fight, that wouldn't be as necessary. We'd have to do some different things, but he would be taking out 1 bread per hit at this point without it.
Yeah. That's 2 hits. 3. Ah. God.
And thus goes Sally. Sometimes he decides he's... And,
Sometimes he's just a jerk.
It can be really easy to start to panic at this point, but you know, Sin's been here, so he knows it can even out. You just gotta be patient with him, I guess.
Yeah. I should be more aggressive. 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, that was good. 4 will do it.
Yeah, he's running on E. Hopefully, that's it.
Yeah, that magic pixel just cost me a lot of time, as you can see, but still, it's whatever.
I've had, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna be negative. This is gonna be it.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it. Come on. There we go. There's Salamander. 54
Nice.
minutes.
Now, the 5th chapter compared to the 4th chapter it's not less perilous, but it is a little bit more relaxed.
Oh man, it's a total cakewalk in comparison. The run is done. We're good to go. All my fears have gone away.
You're just setting yourself up right
No,
now.
I know, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So, but instead of getting Scheherazade, we get her, which is kind of a letdown, I think.
Yeah, we find King Faisal. He's not who we were looking for, but it's fine. Got 1 more to go. 1 more world, 1 more person to find. And in between chapters, actually, you'll notice that this chapter is not a world name. We're actually in the same world as we were in the previous chapter, but now we've changed the past because we went 3,000 years in the past to kill Salamander. So actually in the transition between chapters 3 and 4, somebody says like, "Oh, I hear Sabaron is in the next world," right? And like, so you're slowly building up to finding him. But this is Hassan. He's the final companion that we need to get. He's a great guy. I love Hassan.
Yeah, the game between Hassan and Farouk, they are by far the best battle screen characters in the game and counter screen characters. We hopefully will not get to see them in action, but
Yeah,
they are tanks and they do just massive amounts of damage.
they are.
Both genies, so I guess there's a bit of a genie bias with this game, but you know, that's fine.
Yeah. So like I said, before chapter 5, we're not going to use these breads. We're going to end this game with 7 breads. I don't even know the last time I did that. That had to have been in the previous route, like in the Eclipse route.
Do you want to start to introduce what you're going to do here, or do you want me to?
I think I'll give it a little bit more time.
Okay.
And then we'll go for it. So, walking to this town called Chigris, one of the things that we didn't really talk about before is, you know, when we're using carpets, you can only carpet to towns that you've walked to in that particular time period. So, you know, you have to have entered the town. And there were a couple that we didn't enter before, but this time we're going to walk to Chigris, we're going to enter Chigris, and then immediately walk back out of it.
Hello, Chikris. Goodbye, Chikris.
And what we used to do was go right, and you'd go back into, you know, the maze, through the maze, and into the dungeon and all this kind of stuff. And you go into the past, because you go into the past in every chapter, through another palace, and you would get the light sword. In this game actually does a pretty good job of like avoiding sequence breaks for the most part, except for chapter 2 and what you're about to see. And this is the thing that we discovered like a month ago, so it's kind of crazy and new. And I've never done it in a completed run. But we're gonna do it anyway. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, this is exciting.
So what you would do is you would walk to this place here, right? And you'd walk in between those two trees there.
Oh, don't use that yet. Okay. Just making sure.
I know what I'm doing. It's good.
Okay.
We're good.
Gotcha. Scared me.
After getting the sword, you'd come here and you'd walk into that, and it would create a bridge. But we don't need that. We're gonna do this instead. We're gonna go over here, and oh look, we keep appearing below where we were, and then now we're on the screen with the bridge. We can just walk right to it. And so we don't need the sword anymore, and the sword is like a 4-minute sidetrack to go get. And now we have the armor, and this gives us yet again double the armor value. Take half damage yet again. It tells you this little story, and then you carp it back to Chigris.
And there we go. 4 minutes shaved off of the run, including particularly obnoxious stuff.
Including some particularly obnoxious stuff.
Yes. 6 screens of encounters to run straight through. Not pleasant. By the way, the reason I kind of said that before is that I had tried to just use the rupia seed and walk without doing the screen cutting that you did, and it didn't work, so I thought that when you use that, it wasn't going to work.
No, it still works the way that it has to work for you walking on land. So for some reason that we already knew that the rupia seed, it makes you invincible, it makes you invisible, and it lets you walk over water. We already knew all of that. What we didn't know was that bit about kind of clipping down on that previous screen and all that garbage. And it's awesome. it's so crazy. We found this like a month ago, and then like within 6 hours of each other, the world record had gone from an hour and 3 minutes, hour 3 minutes and 5 seconds to 58:22. Just because of that, and you know, in a good sound mode fight, but. Anyway, we would have had to do this part twice, and we're not going to do that. We're just going to go here into this maze. There are a couple different ways that you can go through this maze. I just take this way because, whatever. I don't want to learn a third way through this maze, or relearn the first way through this maze.
And this way is safer as far as encounter screens go. So.
It is. It's one less encounter screen. It's like 4 or 5 seconds of extra walking. Something like that. But anyway, we're on our way basically to the end. So we needed the armor. We thought it was that you needed both things to get into the final place, but actually you just need the armor to get into the palace, and you just need the sword to get the armor. So now that we can do that skip, all we needed is the armor, and then we can just walk straight to the palace, and then there will be one more upgrade that we need to get. This is the university right here.
The university actually kind of taunts you if you go in there and try to get something.
Yeah, it says, oh, there's nothing for you. And here's the final dungeon.
Alright.
We're in it at an hour. And so you just kind of hug the right wall a little bit. There's one door that we want to avoid. Try and kill some of these guys because they give 12 experience each, and we do want to get to 11,300 experience by the end of the chapter. So we want to avoid that door because it'll use our key, and we still need that key.
Yes, I've lost a run doing that.
I have, yeah. We don't need a key for this door. We need to kill this dragon for this door. Oh, just you wait. Oh, photosensitivity warning again, sorry. Again, I always forget these wizard fights. There are going to be a couple more wizard fights before the end, and then the end's got a lot of photosensitivity warnings too. But in any case, there's also spoilers coming up. I don't know if anybody cares about spoilers for a 30-year-old game.
I don't know either.
But Sabaron is inside the next room.
And this is what we needed the key for. He
Yep.
apparently locked himself in.
Did.
Very cowardly move.
But he's made a terrible mistake and he can't control Gora Gora, so he decides to cut a deal. And he says, you've had your companion with you the whole time. Do you know who she is? If you tell us, I'll give her back to you and then you can go fight what's-his-face. And we've been saying her name a lot. Her name is Koronya.
Yes, if you were like me the first time,
Sorry.
did not
Keep
know
going.
what her name was, didn't bother to figure that out, you're spelling her name wrong.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry. Because this is another chance where you just... Because apparently she goes crazy, and this kills everybody.
Yeah.
If you say her name wrong, some people may be able to relate to that in real life.
Yeah, so the person who was with us all along, the wonderful Princess Scheherazade. Am I going to have to do some grinding in this chapter?
You got guaranteed 50 later. If you get about 50 experience in these screens, you're probably fine. Just as long as you kill those guys, you're probably fine.
Yeah. When I get to 11,300.
Yeah, it's not over till
Yeah,
it's
we're
over,
good.
right?
We're good now. Yeah, I mean, you know, things can happen. Yes.
And so there are some checks that we're thinking about going into the part here. The final boss requires a certain number of things. One, in the first round...
Sorry, photosensitivity warning.
Right.
Here.
I should be saying this. But we need a certain amount of hit points and a certain amount of magic. The magic number we're looking for Marathon safety is right what he has right now, 50. Plus the one mash ruby he has gives him ostensibly 200 magic points, which is enough to survive 2 rounds with the boss.
Yep.
The boss can be beaten 1 round, and he's definitely going to try to do that, but, you know, just in case.
This is the final encounter screen, and here we got it. But we got out, so we're fine. And here's a maze. This maze, it's, oh god, it's northeast. Jeez, I knew I was going to do that. You know you're going the right way if the maze turns red, stays red.
Yes.
Northeast, northwest, north, north, north. And we just go ahead and put Boltor 3 on, because we need that. There's going to be a photosensitivity warning throughout the rest of the game. Which should last another 2 minutes. Now this is the clue that we got again. Stand on the white red sun and shoot me. I'm the pillar that separates, so you stand on the red sun, stand on the white moon. When the star turns blue, you turn it, or you shoot it, or you can just force it to turn blue by shooting it early. And here's the final boss. This final boss looks really, really mean. His name is Gora Gora. But it's not so bad. Just hold left, and then spam Boltor 3. That was too early.
I'm a few seconds behind you, so I'm not saying too much.
Yeah, I need... crap. Yep, I think we might be screwed here. I am. I'm screwed here. We gotta die.
Oh no. Now, we still have a turn left, right?
Yep.
So, and there is a magic field in the castle.
Can I do anything? Can I leave here?
Ring, maybe.
Well, we'll try ring. Ring probably doesn't appear on the screen.
No, it should. It's an item, right?
Oh yeah, it's an item. There it is. Let's see if it does anything. Okay. Gonna do a little bit of backtracking, folks. Sorry.
And this is how careful the run has to be sometimes. That just hit the button slightly too early at one point.
God, can we get out of here?
Hope so. I don't think I've ever tried.
I've never had to.
Oh, good point, Barley. There's a shop too.
Where's the shop?
So
Help me out. Our bar boots. Oh my god, it's falling apart, folks. Sorry.
This is fine. This is a good example. I don't know if I'm safety, but how there are ways to kind of things in this game. It's not that narrow. It is very precise in a lot of ways. If I remember right, the shop is the next break you have in pathing. You want to go right or down.
No, that's back to Sabron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry. I was I'm a little bit behind you, so directing a bit rough.
Thank you, Barbaloo. Yeah, I screwed myself over there.
Well, it's good you picked up all that random money. Now we just hope that the mushrooms are cheap enough to buy. Yes, good.
Ah, stop. Stop picking things. Let's go.
Alright, now we are good to go. No worries. And yeah, of all the bosses, Gora is the weirdest. Now every boss has like 2 phases in some sort. I mean, if you count Salamanders being unable to hit him as he sits in fire as a phase. Gora, he will do damage to you, but the bigger threat is that he will try to eat you. Which I think we got to see there. So that is... Oh, we get to be a rocket again.
Yeah, I didn't want to cast Karaba and use up that bread. I guess I probably could have. Alright, let's try this again.
Here we go. Oh no, not them.
That fight can actually kill you. That final, or that Medusa in the middle, casts Boltor 3, and in this chapter I think it does like 32 damage per hit, and it does like 8 hits or something, so if it's just you in the fight, it's crazy. One of the things that you didn't really get to see is that at the beginning of a fight you get to choose like who your companions are and stuff. Or it can just be you. But then you tank all the damage. Some of those enemies can be really mean. I have actually had runs lost there too.
Yeah, the safe way to get through those, as much as it can be safe, is to pull out a formation, because you'll take half damage during the formation, and if you dragon, the final one of Farouk and Hassan, it's just kill them without even having to worry about running. But
alright, here we go again. I missed it. Time. There we go. Time is on the final hit of the final boss. There's a little bit of extra like dialogue and stuff. Because here we go, we've defeated Gora, and Arabia will be fine once more. All the companions are on the carpet. We go back and have a nice little ceremony and all this kind of great stuff, and we get to meet up with our future father-in-law. I know I went over, so I guess do I need to kill it now, or can we watch a little bit of ending? Don't know if anybody wants to talk, wants to tell me what to do here. This has some really great ending music too, so you know I'd like to show it off if we could. Thank you everybody for the GGs. I don't know which one is Scheherazade. Okay, I've got the go for it, so we're just gonna... The credits are pretty short, and I think we can just play it out a little bit. But everybody gets their little bit of a say. We talk to all of the princesses, Ishtal, Roxanne, I forget the other one's name, and then Scheherazade, and King Faisal. We went through all this crap, and he asked us what what we're gonna do, and then we say, "As long as the mysterious world calls me, I continue my journey." And we leave Ashalato, that's her name. So we leave the princesses behind. We take all of our new friends who all say different things. Gunmecha, Supika, these are people we don't know. And we jump back on our carpet. And leave her. It's kind of rough. We're kind of a jerk. She was there the whole way. She was invaluable in our quest to defeat Gorogora and Sabaron. And she gets left behind. She opened the time doors for us. We couldn't have even beaten the game. We couldn't have gotten out of chapter 1 without her. How are we going to jump into the lake without the time door to go get Farouk? We couldn't. There might be. It was a different time back then. And this is what I really wanted to point out. Well, the time door will open again soon. There was a planned sequel to this game that never got made. But yeah, shoutouts to, just real quick, if I can, again, shoutouts to Darkwing Duck, who originally kind of came up with the route that we started using when I got into it, and when our Barbaloot got into it, and when Sathresh got into it, and all these other people who are into it, like Aaron, and a bunch of other people. We're also, you know, shoutouts to Barbaloot, again, all those people for everything that they do and trying to help us route this game out, and CT187 for making the randomizer, Aaron for helping me commentate, and all of you for watching. Thank you very much. Aaron, take it away. I don't know if you have anything that you want to add.